We're going to get at least one in here. Xenovacane. Sweet, this should be a good match. They're, Kaigalichu versus whatever we're doing. Our deck is kind of light on answers to Runir Hierophant, isn't it? This is a pretty easy mulligan. So Wells only make a threshold if you already have a threshold, so doesn't accomplish anything here. This hand needs a Sapphire, but Diamond Ice guarantees us a resource, and these guarantee us resources if we need to. Alright, so we've got Kaigalichu with Drop of Wax in it. Yep. Yeah, Butterfly, like I said, I think I understand from a like original intent perspective why Unified would be appealing for Modern, because you don't want the teams to just all play the same deck across the board, but at the same time, the way it ends up working out, it just turns into like narrow Modern. Sweet. There's our... I guess I'm going to start by guidancing here, because I'm going to guidance for a resource, and if we hit another ice, I can play that out. Alright, I don't think I want to hold up this transmog here, so I'm just going to guidance again. This time I'm going to grab a non-resource. Adjudicator's not bad. So they have all three other shards here. So Runir, we could be in a little bit of trouble. Brilliant. Anarelix. This has speed. Oh, that's a little brutal. So this has... The customizations here are speed, and when this deals damage to an opposing champion, they discard a card. That's a little brutal. We kind of needed that one. Yeah, so I wasn't gonna. I've got one Hawkward Turn in my main deck, and I've got two more in the reserves, and they were explicitly added them to interact with this card, so hopefully that'll be useful. I'm getting a little bit punished here on that random discard for not grabbing a 5th resource with that guidance. Like I was intending to grab another resource with this Heart's Whisper if we miss, but like now I don't have double Sapphire to play this. If we hit a shard here, Silver Talon Adjudicator will pull us back into this game nicely. This is a 3-2 with flight that if they have more health than us, we gain 5. And if they have more cards in hand than us, we draw 2. I love Oreo with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate that. Or welcome. That's a new sub. Thanks for the Twitch Prime. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff. Thanks for the support. I'm pretty sure I do want to take a non-resource here. Hopefully when this hits us again next turn, they don't discard the Adjudicator, and then the Adjudicator can come down and potentially block this, but they also have 5 cards in their hands, so there's a good chance that's not going to matter. Yeah, Emperor's Lackey probably means it's a Crusader deck. I don't have a decklist tool or anything like that for this game. They don't have any Twitch integrations for Hex, which is unfortunate. There's a good chance we're just dead regardless here. This puts us back to 13 and draws us a couple of cards. Oh, it's probably. I'm assuming that Immortal's going to end up a lot like Modern, and that Control's just mostly not going to be playable in the format. Drop of Wax seems really bad with Kaigalichu in your deck as your champion. Like, getting back both Candleskins and the Drop of Waxes is really rancid. So this champion power is 4 charges, flips the bottom 3 cards from your crypt into your deck into your discard pile, and then returns a card at random from your discard pile to your hand. So no removal there is like half good for us. We're going to take 8, 9 potentially this turn. Missing the shard last turn was really brutal. Silver Talon. Yeah, the best draw. Yeah, Silver Talon Adjudicator. Fucking burn it up. Alright, I think we're still mostly dead. Alright, so this fucked up card. Culmination of Blood. This card costs 10, and it gets -1 cost for every troop in both discard piles, and then it makes your opponent discard their entire hand. You know, one of the things, and this isn't even strictly a knock on Hex, Magic does this too. One of the things that's like kinda nice about playing Hearthstone is just like the fact that they never fuck with your hand. Like, if you have a card in your hand, it's safe, is so great. Just like never having to worry about that. I think we're just dead. Clash of Steel's a decent one. So Clash of Steel says we each pick one card and sack the rest here. So, you know, assuming they just like haven't had a removal spell and 30 cards will be okay. You do have to play around counters. There's actual factual counter spell as a secret. Yeah, there's secrets. I actually really love the gameplay that secrets provide in Hearthstone, because secrets reward you for having format knowledge and being familiar with like what cards to expect out of your opponent. I really like the design and the gameplay that secrets generate. All right, so we definitely want some more Hawkward Turns, because this is a dual shard card, so it can target their Brilliant Denner Relics. Is this like okay Eldurathan's Glory matchup? I think it is. This also cleans out Brilliant, right? I conceded as soon as we were dead. We're playing a control deck with some grind to it. I think we were fine there. Transmods actually seems pretty medium. I think these Runebinds are pretty important. Is Clash of Steel good enough? They're going to keep a socketed card most of the time anyway, so I think Clash of Steel is maybe not good enough. Yeah, Hex only has... Can you guys not hear the background music? Maybe it's a little bit low. Hex has sound effects. Now, I really don't consume much Magic content. As a fully casual Magic player now, I don't really need to consume competitive Magic content. I've embraced what I do fully. Blasting locks all future cards. I don't even think that's strictly true. Like, they could definitely change the cost of things at some point. It gives up some of that knowledge aspect, but it's still fine, I think. Magic Arena is not casual Magic. Magic Arena is Magic with the goal of sucking the most money out of you. At least that's what it seems like so far. Seems like they're just trying. So this card's really sweet. It is just a really elegant use of the digital design space. So this is a 1/1 for 1. Then when it comes into play, it modifies the next action in my deck to give it draw a card when you play it. So basically, it's a 1/1 for 1 with a delayed cantrip on it. That is the worst fucking card to get that on. What a tilt. So this is our control finisher, which you really don't want to draw until the late game, obviously. So it starts as a 15 cost, and every time you play an action, if it's in your hand or your deck, its cost goes down by 1. So like the more cards we play, eventually this gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper to be played far before 15 cost. I guess I'll take this dark card here. I'm going to guarantee a resource on top of my deck with this ice. Ice, ice, baby. Beauty-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I wonder if I was supposed to change the gems on this. I'm going to snap this trade here. Putting this in their bin makes their hero power worse. I do have to kind of think about Culmination of Blood at some point. The cost reduction gem is great. It's possible the can't be targeted by 2 or less is mostly irrelevant here, though. Because there's a very real possibility that's incorrect. So this, Fate Weaves, and then draws a card. So the Fate Weave mechanic is just very elegant at reducing some of the resource variance that games like Magic and Hex can have by design. It allows you to kind of control those cards that you're hitting and when. Like, having this card in my opener really sucks, because it means, like, I'm exposed to, like, getting it discarded by, like, Brilliant Analytics or Culmination in Blood. And especially the fact that, like, the Prophecy from that Thunderfield Seer got placed on here. Alright, so... Oh, that doesn't have a thing on it. Huh. Did I just Hawkward Turn this? I think I just Hawkward Turn this. Now let's focus. I think I'm going to Hawkward Turn this. Bird sounds great. Deathcry as Deathcry, yeah. So let's do this, and I'll put a non-resource on top of my deck here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pass. I'm going to hold the Hawkward Turn up, because they play a Brilliant. I'd rather Hawkward Turn the Brilliant. Yeah, it's weird that... It's weird that he didn't change it to, like... I guess getting double wild consistently in his deck is probably a little bit hard. I'd believe that. I feel like the Abomination Gem's a weird gem to leave in against my deck explicitly, though. That's really fucking unfortunate. So, not only did we lose our finisher there, but my opponent got to take our finisher. The Silvertail Adjudicator is pretty good, though. Get to gain 5, draw 2. My body is ready for our hero to fall. Again, just like these drop of waxes looking really bad. I asked Novi if drop was actually good in that deck. I'm assuming I'm going to get the answer he's not sure. Maybe he is. I don't know. It just seems super, like... The fact that it puts, like, 2 poop cards in your discard pile most of the time seems a bit medium. Speaking of poop, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I guess I should block here because... even if they're gonna get to Culmination me regardless, so I don't think we're in a position to beat Culmination here. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede. Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if control decks are playable in this format. I think by and large, as this format shapes up, it's going to resemble something like Modern in that there's just going to be too many different decks. You'll need something that's a little bit more of a proactive control deck to keep up consistently. So the opponent is playing Nineveh, which generally in this format so far means that they're playing the Taking Turns combo deck. This hand is much better than the first one that only had 1 resource. So this hand only has 1 resource, but Sapphire Ice gets to guarantee us a second, which is nice. Yeah, it's sweet, Captain Command. So, guarantee our 3rd resource here. Countermagic and Runebind are great cards to have in our opener against what the opponent has going on if they are playing the Taking Turns deck. Lead on focus here, see what we find. I'm just going to guarantee my 4th shard rather than taking a 3rd Adjudicator. For those of you that are newer to Hex and have played through Standard recently, you may or may not have played with Countermagic in the past before this rotated out. Super, he's just like one of the best cancel effects printed between Hex and Magic. So it's a 3-cost, interrupt their card, but then it takes all copies of that card with the same name and gives them +2 cost. So basically every other card along with the one you counter is going to cost them additional. So especially against like counter decks where you to like or against combo decks where you to like interrupt a key card with it, and then all of the rest of their copies of that key card are going to cost them more. Yeah, it's probably a little bit draw dependent. It's like, do I want to nerf? Do I want to counter the Stormcloud? They could get going as early as next turn. I think I want to counter this just so I can go like Shard Bird to draw a couple of cards next turn. I do need to just like get killing them. I have a minimal amount of counters game 1 though, so like burning a counter spell on the Stormcloud might be a mistake there. But I also feel like I can't really afford to pass the turn to my opponent without playing a threat this turn. So like if I'm tapping out this turn, I'm not going to be holding up Countermagic anyways. Yeah, Reese is a sweet card. 10 out of 10 Reese is a sweet card. So I'm not sure that I want to just slam Darkheart here. I guess Darkheart is like pseudo interaction against them, right? Play that out. I'm gonna put a resource on top of my deck just in case they Runebind this. Although maybe that's silly. Maybe that's some nonsense. Darkheart's actually pretty reasonable against my opponent because Darkheart says every turn each player sacrifices. Oh, this can't be Runebound. Oh, that's so good. This can't be targeted by things that cost 2 or less. So my opponent's deck gets going by taking extra turns and having this banner in play that gives us some draw extra cards. But Darkheart eats away at their banner and stuff here. So like they're gonna build up charges, but there's a non-zero chance they don't have a main deck way to get this off the table. Like, they need to, like, have Into the Unknown. They can't Transmog this, and they can't Runebind it because those cards cost less. Yeah, like, this Arcane banner, if they can't take this Dark card off the table, it's literally only going to draw them... Oh, okay. Okay, so they got Thunderfield Seer. That makes sense. Okay, and they have Poopers here. So they have extra things to sacrifice now. Yeah. There's a good chance they go off through the Dark card. The Dark card's going to make their job harder, but they could definitely go off through it. Like, because they have double... Yeah, I think we're probably still dead here, because they're going to get to... Oh, wait. Oh, wait, they didn't have an extra turn card. That's so good for me. Wow, that's good for me. Well, I guess I just, like, played this with their Dark Heart and then pass, right? Double Dark Heart should have a real hard time going off through. Especially, like, with this Runebind, to make sure things resolve here. It's like, they can Runebind this while it's on the chain. But then I can just let their Runebind resolve here, and then I can Guidance to make sure my thing comes into play here. So Guidance undoes their Runebind because it guarantees me a resource here. So my Dark Heart's gonna flip out, and it's a non-slow shard, so I'm gonna have a Runebind interact with their shit next turn. Seriously? Oh, that's so frustrating. There's no way this card's gonna be legal long term. Just like 0% chance. This card is so offensive with how Hex's resource system works. We were getting fucked there regardless of how I sequenced, I guess. Yeah, I probably won't Runebind up. You're not wrong. I think it doesn't matter, but we'll see. No, putting a shard on top doesn't matter because my Dark Heart's going to make me sacrifice this Mysterious Rune at the start of my turn. So it's pretty much irrelevant. The good news is these Adjudicators are going to draw me cards next turn. Because, like, I'm going to have less cards in my hand than them, which is nice. They have Psychic Ascension in their deck? There's no way I can beat that, right? 0%? So I have to Runebind that? God, that's so fucking greedy. That's brutal. A lot of them have a PA in the sideboard, but having it in the main deck is really rough for us. I don't think I can let PA resolve. I'm like pretty sure we're just like dead and gone if we let the PA resolve. But I guess like the PA is gonna resolve regardless next turn, so like does it really matter? And to go and put this pig back into play. Right, I mean, well, in the event that we get another turn, maybe we have a chance. The problem is like this PA is gonna maybe I should have gone for the doing my dark heart, just trying to play through the PA. Maybe that was better. Yeah, I just get to play it this turn. They have Zodiac Divination in their deck? Was that... I guess we can't know if that was generated or not. There's a chance that that was generated. Let's just go to the next one. The older I get, the less I have a desire to play grindy control decks like this, and the more I just want to like play things and combo people. It's like, what are you gonna do? You wanna grind out some card advantage? Nah, let's just fucking kill him. Do I want Transmog? I don't know what amount of interaction. I definitely want these Tribunal Magistrates because they mess up their deck. I don't actually know what I want to trim. I want the verdicts, I'm pretty sure. Thunderfield Seer seems bad. This isn't really a card advantage matchup, so we trim the Lanupaw site. I feel like I want the STAs, because not only do they pressure my opponent, but my opponent's like often going to have a bunch of cards in hand. Maybe trimming one is fine. It's like a pseudo answer to their thing. The problem is they just like Runebind their dickhead and then get to replay it again. Maybe I want a third. Let's try this. Winter's Grasp is great. Grasp is probably going to be like low-key one of the best pieces of removal in this format. It's a shame it doesn't kill Brilliant and Relics. Yeah, I think it's hard to pass up a hand that is Magistrate on 3 plus backed up. I want to just like try and guarantee a second Sapphire here, so I'm going to Fate Weave resources aggressively so we can ideally play this Heart's Whisper out as well. So if we miss on Sapphire here, we'll Fate Weave again for another resource, but we didn't, so this one I'll put a non-resource on top of my deck. And the next turn we'll get to Slab Magistrate. Yeah, Cosmic Dragons was a sweet deck. The Face Gem. Fortunately, the Face Gem is banned. I don't think it's a bad thing that Relics exists. I think that card's pretty reasonable. Just like, powerful cards are fun to play. It's definitely a powerful card. It's like, to set the bar low, it's like less offensive than Runebind with Spell Shield. Yeah, but that's not why the deck was sweet, Immortal. The deck was sweet because you got to get multiple triggers off your Vampire Kings and Vampire Princesses. Is why the deck was awesome. So this will give us a resource, which will play our Tribunal Magistrate out here. And then we have Transmog and Runebind up here. So Tribunal Magistrate's kind of a sweet hate card. It says whenever your opponent plays a non-resource card, they get 2 spider eggs in their deck. So the opponent's deck wants to play a bunch of cards like Tribunal Magistrate, like fills their deck up with bullshit while they're just playing the game. I think I'm just gonna play Drago here and like sit on this Tribunal Magistrate because like I have inevitability basically with the Magistrate in play. And I feel like our deck. I feel like our deck's going to build up more disruption than theirs in the long term. Like, even just holding on to this guidance for now seems fine. Just play a waiting game while we have countermagics and, like, dig for verdicts and stuff. The guidance has value in holding because if our opponent, like, goes to Runebind this and we lose the fight somehow, this can grab a resource to unrunebind our thing. Consult the Talon. I think I'm just going to interrupt that. Make their next consult worse. It's a pretty good hit. And this is definitely a position where one of the things I want to note while we're playing this deck is like when Rutherford Banks would be worse than Dreaming Fox and vice versa. So like worth noting here that I'm at 7 charges and I don't have any troops in my grip to put back into play. So like if I was playing Dreaming Fox, I would get to draw 2 next turn with Dreaming Fox. For those that are newer to Hex or haven't seen the game before, Dreaming Fox and Rutherford Banks are the champions. So this champion that I'm playing for 7 charges puts a troop from our discard pile back into play. And the other champion that this archetype sometimes plays is Dreaming Fox, which for 7 charges creates you a divination. There's not Twitch integration for Hex, so I do not have a decklist plugin for it, unfortunately. And these are something else you can track for. You see this Consult says it costs 9, and Eyes of the Heart costs 8. So like these are 2 key cards in my opponent's deck. So like when I'm thinking about things that my opponent could be doing in future turns, I get to know that like their key cards cost them more resources, which is great for us. It's a little awkward that I don't want to put Dark Card out while I have Tribunal Magistrate in play, but I think it's definitely worth just like sitting here and sitting on Tribunal Magistrate until my opponent like draws spiders. You can see their deck is up to 50 cards right now because every time they play an on-resource card, their deck gets exited. Mastery of Time. I think I'm just going to let this one happen. Mastery of Time doesn't like build them charges or anything, so like it doesn't really like do anything particularly scary. You can see my opponent drew a spider egg there, so I've got a 2/1 spider to start giving him the business with here. Update and start using stack. I need to do that at some point. It's not as good as Twitch integration, but it is better than nothing, I suppose. And now the question becomes like, do I want to play this Dark Card out? Like, do I have enough spiders in their deck? This is worth doing because like this would eat this, so I get to keep Tribunal Magistrate for a few turns. Exclusive cards with the 4-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate it. I kind of feel like I want to play the Dark Card out here. I get to keep this for at least 2 more turns. Like I put some eggs in their deck. I feel like getting to gobble away on their Arcane Banner is like really valuable here. Thank you for the 4-month resubscription there, cards. Sweet. And then them hitting more eggs is just like the stone nuts for us, right? Because that gives me more things to sacrifice to my Dark Heart to keep them around longer. And look, there's an Eyes of the Heart that costs them all the resources because we hit the earlier one with Countermagic. So we'll bin a Spiderling here. Yeah, they're pretty hypocrite without a pedal at this point. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. The transmogs are good. Tribunal Magistrate came in and did exactly what I wanted to do there, which feels great. It's possible I should leave the Thunderfield Seers in my deck because they let me insulate my Tribunal Magistrate for a turn against my own Dark Arts. This hand seems pretty good. I've got 2 different ways to interact with a... Oh, what's it called? A Cyclone Shaper early, and I've got my Dark Art here. And so this is a really neat thing. So you see the Dark Art has 5 cost in the corner, but I have the customization here. When you have a Sapphire, it costs 1 less. So you'll see when I play the Sapphire Shard out, the game goes, hey, you've got a Sapphire Shard now, so now I cost 4 because of my gem. You're not wrong. I'm definitely looking for a resource here, and we did not find one. I'm going to grab a Runebind here, because it's good with the Dark Art, but that definitely wasn't what we were hoping for. We do have Diamond Dice here. You could probably make an argument that I should just, like, Diamond Dice a resource on one there, rather than play the Focus. It's probably, hey, sweet, we hit naturally. I think I still just want a Diamond Dice here, and I think I want to guarantee my 5th resource, so that way I can go, like, Dark Heart plus Runebind on 5. Fate Weave is so great. And a couple of the other decks I've been playing in this format, like, can't really afford to play the Ice, which makes me really sad. Like, getting to play Ice is so much fun. Alright, so I'm going to do that. I still have 7 cards in my hand. I think I'm just passing here. I don't think I want to jam the Dark Heart. It's worth noting my opponent has Dingle in their deck, too. So, like, they're able to Dingle my Dark Hearts and my Tribunal Magistrates and stuff. It is fucking criminal that Magic has not brought back Scrylands yet. Like, I was really, really surprised that we don't have more, like, that Scrylands aren't... I was really surprised that Scrylands aren't evergreen at this point. Like, really surprised. Like, those... Why aren't those, like, the core set lands? They're so well balanced. So they can Runebind this, but they can't Dingle it here with only 1 resource up, so I'm just going to go ahead and jam it down their throat. Like I said, getting this into play is meaningful disruption here. And especially because they didn't Runebind it here, like, they can't Runebind this, so they have to have, like, exactly Into the Unknown here. Well, that's really awesome. So now I get to play this with this other Runebind up. Like, having 2 Dark Arts in play should make it incredibly hard for my opponent to combo off here. Because, like I said, their combo depends on having permanents in play. So again, for those that aren't familiar with X, Dark Art's a really powerful control card. It's a 4-cost 4/4 here, and my other customizations, this can't be targeted by opposing cards that cost 2 or less, so it's got some anti-disruption here. At the start of each player's turn, they have to sacrifice a non-socketed card they control. So Dark Arts don't kill each other or themselves because they're socketed with these gems. Another Transmog. God, that's good. I think with the Runebind and these Transmogs, we should pretty much have this game locked up. Looking for, like, Countermagic and Verdicts here. I'm actually not going to play the Arcane Focus here because I just want to, like, have up triple interaction in case they, like, have Shaper and nonsense. They missed a Shard drop last turn too, though, which is also phenomenal for us. Like, we have Disruption and Pressure and they're stumbling. It could be that, like, Immortal's just, like, not quite interactive enough that we want... Well, now, just... Yeah, alright. Alright, well, this game was fun. Sweet. And we're done here. And we're done here. Stop it. Alright. Well, I kind of had a plan for that matchup, and then it worked. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The queue is pop. I was a little bit worried when we were first starting that we weren't going to have games to play today. It took a little while to find the first one. But, I've got a few of them. This is, the Wild Ruby champion, right? Yeah, target Tribunals +2 and Feral. That seems good. Seems good. If Transmog seems excellent in this matchup, so does Quick Dark Heart. Snap this hand off here. I think the starting gems on Dark Heart are good. What I mean by Immortal not quite being interactive is maybe, I didn't complete the thought. I think there's a good chance Rutherford Banks is the wrong champion for this deck, and maybe it should just be Dreaming Fox, because there aren't enough people, like, putting my Dark Heart in the bin. I think there's a very real chance. We just want to, like, give ourselves the best chance to play this Dark Heart on 4, I think. So I'm going to Fate Weave again here. Is Modern on the dock for today. I'm planning to stream some Magic this evening after my I was gonna say after my wife gets home from work, but that's not fully true. I'm going to stream Modern tonight after the Grand Prix coverage is done. So if you're interested in Modern stuff, you should head on over to twitch.tv/magic, and they have a Modern Grand Prix streaming right now. And I will be live here with some Modern once they're done. We're currently playing Hex's non-rotating format called Immortal. Nearly 2 years through all the ups and downs. The memes have been strong. Keep up the good work. What is this? Incantation of Fury. When an opposing champion is dealt damage, add an incantation counter to this, and there are 5 or more, transform this into an Inferno Elemental. 6/3 with speed. Okay. It's eventually going to become a 6/3. No, not really, Marty. I'm really looking forward to having a bunch of remnants, I think. Getting, like, I threw together a blood sapphire, like, control deck, and I was just, like, looking at the resource base. I was just like, I can't fucking play this until we have more remnants. Just need them. I need them, Marty. I need them so badly. Obsidian Cyclops. When this, oh, that's really good. So when this attacks, it summons a Blaze Elemental. So it's going to hit us for 4. Another thing that'll be good about, like, Immortal is kind of distinct right now. Immortal is going to be super distinct from their standard format. It's really going to feel like 2 genuinely different formats when, like, Immortal has 6 sets that aren't in standard. 10 sets versus 4. Yeah, like right now it's what, 5 versus 9, which is like you half your, like, standard is half the size of Immortal. Like when you're like a third the size, it's going to be Dogpile. Deal 5 damage. Summon Rabid Gnolls in excess. Okay. Okay, yep, that's a thing. That's a Rabid Gnoll. We're kind of getting beat down, chat. That's a Clash of Steel. I think we're going to play Lanupaw. So Lanupaw's Sight is a super, super powerful draw card. So it uses the Prophecy mechanic, and it modifies the next action, resource, and troop in my deck to draw a card. So between Thunderfield Seer and Lanupaw's Sight, the next action I play is going to draw 2 extra cards more than it normally would. And the next resource I play is going to draw, it's basically the top card of our deck is going to draw an extra card, and eventually we're going to draw 4 total extra cards between Lanupaw's Sight and Thunderfield Seer. I have this Transmog up here, so I assume they're going to feral probably the Obsidian Cyclops here, and then I'll Transmog it before it attacks. Or they're going to target that one. We'll see. We'll see what they target here. I'm kind of hoping they target the Surging Wildfire here so that I can Transmog that. They're targeting that one. Yeah, that's unfortunate for me. So I'm going to poke this with this. Exhaust 1 or more dwarves and a robot you control. Transform it into a bot shop. Reveal the top card of your deck. Reveal the top of your deck. Draw a card. Draw a card as a robot. Okay, so that basically just gets rid of it, which is nice for us. So, unfortunately, I can't really do anything against this yet. So, this is a really powerful card. It kind of deals double damage in a roundabout way. It says when it attacks, it deals damage equal to its power to the opposing champion. I think I actually want to guarantee a resource drop here because when I hit my 7th resource next turn, I'm gonna get to floop my Dark Heart back into play from my discard pile that they killed earlier, which is really valuable. So with Countermagic up here, although I guess they get to do this next turn. Am I dead? Not, I could potentially be dead here with this, because this is gonna put this to a 4, and then it's gonna go to a 5 on attack. Fuck, I am exactly dead. Because I can't Countermagic that because it's an activated ability. So I'm gonna take 10, 11 here. I don't have a Transmog. This Clash of Steel has been really fucking bad. Yep, I am exactly dead. I guess maybe I should have been greedy and dug for action there, or maybe played the Clash of Steel. Hank holding up the Countermagic was right there. Alright, let's get these in. These all the spot removal. Countermagic's probably pretty medium in this matchup. Lanupaw's Sight is definitely too slow for this matchup. Try this, just like max cards that impact the board. So I think I just want a Sight rather than that. Let's do this. I think both these clashes should probably be in my board. I think there probably aren't enough decks in Immortal that play wide to the board to be worth main decking that. Maybe just like have a second Hawkward Turn in my main deck or something that impacts the board. The Feral Champion that my opponent's playing is such a big upgrade from Grandfather Elk. Like the Pseudo Evasion and the cheaper Champion Activation are both like big gains. And Dark Heart's very good with a lot of gems. I really hope at some point soon they add a way to filter the gems, because like these are just, in Immortal there are so many gems that like if you want to change your gems between games it can be hard to... Oh, this should be, speaking of... I'm going to regem those two, +2. So these are this card's customizable, and you can see the can't be targeted by 2 or less wasn't really relevant against my opponent's deck. So I'm going to change the Dark Heart's customization, so now it's going to be a 4/6 when we have it. So that means it doesn't die to Dogpile, and it doesn't die to their Sabertooth, which is great. Yeah, really, I think the only Primordial that like really feels bad to not interact with is Cockatrice. Because Cockatrice is like stripping resources out of your hand. I think Sabertooth is fine. I think having like powerful like pseudo... It's not even I was almost an unconditional removal, but it's really not even unconditional removal because it's damage based. Having an Adjudicator opener is pretty great here. I think there's probably like a variation of the opponent's deck that's probably really fantastic in this format. Like Ruby Wild Aggro seems really good, but Ruby Wild Aggro is also a little bit medium right now until set 10 hits, because Ruby Wild is one of the combinations that doesn't have this Remnant resource. So like the opponent's Shard combination doesn't currently have as good a fixing as like what my Shard combination does. Yeah, it's possible. I think Grasp is just like a quality piece of removal in general in this format. There's a very good chance that I should just like have some of those in my main deck. We might break off on resources here, which one of the nice things about playing 8 pieces of ice is that you pretty rarely break off on resources, but definitely not 0 variants. It looks like the opponent boarded up to more than 60 cards post board. If we draw a non-slow shard here, we'll be in an insane spot, 'cause we'll get to Adjudicator for cards and health. Instead, we drew another 4-drop in our hand that's stuck on 3 resources. Shard, please. Please don't be bad guidance. Please don't be bad guidance. Fuck you. This card is so much worse than guidance. Oh, it's so much worse than guidance. Why is it so unbelievably worse than guidance, party? Why? Why? The fuck is that? Target troop gets 5/3 and crush this turn. Yes, it does. I just transmog this. I think I'm supposed to transmog this and just keep my health total high. Shard, please. We've passed the window for Silvertail to draw cards, but we can still slam. Well, that means I get another shard next turn, I guess. That's a slow resource, so I can't play a 4-drop yet, but it does guarantee a 5th shard next turn, which is nice. It means I can play Darkheart with a Runebind or Transmog up, which is ideal. Deal. Come at me. Yep. So, taking a hit there. Taking a hit there doesn't feel too bad because I do have these Adjudicators to protect my health total. Plus, like, with 2 pieces of 1-cost quick interaction in my hand, I feel pretty good. The fact that this Darkheart isn't going to die to Dogpile or Sabertooth is, like, A+ here. Deal. They have a second one here. Is this a Dogpile in response? Another one. Alright. I think I'm just going to protect this. Do I even want to protect this? I feel like my 1-cost interaction is just, like, more valuable than saving the Darkheart there. Yeah, like with Banks, too, I'm just, like, pretty incentivized to just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Boo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. They have a riposte? That pause felt like a riposte. I'm pretty far off of Psychic Ascension. Let's take a Hawkward Turn here. Have you heard about my other bird? It's a 3/2 and it gains A5. I think we're in a good spot here. One of the things that is sweet about Gauntlets is that, in case you're unfamiliar with this, we can actually swap cards between our main deck and our reserves for like game 1 our starting cards if after we finish this match. So like I think I'm gonna move my Clash of Steel to the board and like main deck my other Hawkward Turn, I think. And I'm just going to pass here with Trip's interaction up, I think. Just, like, and beating them down for 6 a turn. Let's just, like, make sure we don't die while we clock them. Banks is right into play, Marty. The card is very, very good. Very, very good champion power. So, like, you get to, like, Banks back your Dark Heart and then, like, have Countermagic or Clash of Steel up. It's very strong. And the starting health total is arguably not that big of a deal when your deck is playing Silver Talon Adjudicator anyways. So they're borrowing my card. Loki of the Pack is interesting. Oh, I guess this lets them block my Adjudicator. It's a little awkward. It's a little awkward. It's a good pickup. Banks was on the watch list for a touch. I was pretty surprised they put Banks on the watch list initially, and I was not surprised when they pulled him off. Like, generally speaking, like I said, I think this format's going to shape up to be a lot like Modern, and I think it's just like not the type of format where that type of effect is overly powerful on average. Hope everyone's having a good Friday out there. We're hanging out playing some Hex today. This is a fully digital card game if you're one of my non-Hex viewers and you're just dropping by. They've been around for a while. They have 9 sets released, so this is their non-rotating Immortal format. So I am partial to formats that don't rotate myself. They just added more support for this one. They're still working out some of the kinks, but it looks like they're interested in supporting this format in the long term, which I think is great for their game. I've been enjoying playing it so far. We're currently 1-1 in a gauntlet with the Sapphire Diamond control deck. Gauntlets, for those who aren't familiar, you either play until you have 5 wins or 3 losses. So, see if we can pick up our second win here, if we're going to keep sliding towards the end. Charge Colossus Banks was funny. You're not wrong. One of those, if there was, we don't really know what this format looks like, right? Like, if the format shapes up where, like, a blood deck is popular, Charge Colossus definitely goes in the reserves. Geez, a backward slash. It's not even a hyperlink. I remember my first time posting in Twitch chat, man. I remember. Alright, and this hand desperately needs a 4/3 source like our last one, but it has an ice in it, so ice is going to guarantee a 4/3 source if we don't draw one naturally. Ice, baby. And we hit a resource, so I'm going to go ahead and guarantee a non-resource next turn with this. Sounds a little bit meaty. If they have like a Righteous Outlaw here, we could be in a little bit of trouble. Yep, that's scary. So this is gonna start pushing damage very quickly here. This needs 5 counters on it to turn into a 6/3. So it's gonna get a counter. Focus. I think I'm gonna do this. Fine. Extra Runebind is pretty good here. Interesting that they transformed this right away. I'm surprised you don't go into timeout withdrawal on these non-magic streams. That's funny. It's tough. It's tough. People behave. I think the Thunderfield Seer out here might be a little bit medium because it gives them a target for the Scarlet Swordsman, but I'm probably just going to Runebind the Swordsman this turn. Let's see what they do here. I have double Runebind up. So if they like slam a, yeah, they could slam a thing here. And like my Runebinds are going to be pretty good. Sure. Oh, this is basic, right? So I should, I'm just gonna Runebind both of these things here, I think. And then if my opponent doesn't draw a resource next turn, we should be in a really good spot. If they do draw a resource next turn, we could maybe get into a little bit of trouble here. But if they don't draw a resource, the Dark Heart with Winter's Grasp and Hawkward Turn, especially Silvertongue Adjudicator, buff our health a little bit here, should allow us to take over the game. So these stay in this stasis state here until my opponent draws a shard. So if my opponent doesn't draw a shard, these are going to stay locked away as mysterious runes. Sweet. And they didn't draw a resource. And they don't have enough charges to use their champion power again here. So I'm going to lose my Thunderfield Seer next turn. They dogpiled my... That's actually really good for them, right? Because it gives them a bunch of Rabid Gnolls to be able to sacrifice to my Dark Heart. That's a good line. Second Dark Heart. Yep. Alrighty. Still hoping they draw spells here. Okay, they drew a resource, so they're going to get these back. So they can use Loki's power here on one of their things. And they could have one of their pump spells in their hand for the other. We'll see. If I get out of this turn mostly alive, we'll probably still be okay just because I have the Hawkward Turn and the Winter's Grasp. I'm going to take a pretty sizable chunk of damage here, though. They have a pump spell. They could maybe get us. Pretty sure I just want to trade here. See if they have a Sabertooth or a Dogpile to finish this off here. If they have a Dogpile to finish this off, they might be wide enough. Nope, just a Sabertooth. That's good for us. So I get this back. I get to play a Shard. This has draw a card on it. That's great. So this was prophesized by my Thunderfield Seer from earlier. So this is going to draw us a card in addition to doing that. So it's passed back now. It's pretty great. And then next turn I get to go Shard plus Bird, gain 5. And I've got this Hawkward Turn as interaction here. And then if we hit another resource here down the line, I'm going to be able to floop this other piggy back into play here. Dreamweaver Ancient, sure. They're probably going to hit this with their champ power because they want to get it through the Dark Heart. Yep. And then I'm going to get to Hawkward Turn it. Have you heard about my bird, opponent? And then I think I'm going to be greedy and stack a non-resource here. I could guarantee stack a resource, but I think non-resource is fine there. And then, like, this bird blocks their bird, and I'm going to be at 13 with a Dark Heart in top deck mode. And, like, our deck certainly top deck's better than the deck with pump spells in it. So, like, we're going to lose this bird. Attack here. I should have attacked first before playing this, because, like... Now they're more incentivized to. Here. I have to block with this anyways because I'm gonna sacrifice it to the Dark Heart if I don't block with it. I guess this attack is a little bit loose if they draw like Dreamweaver Ancient, but I do just need to like kill my opponent here as well. If I just like give them time to draw shit, they could draw out of this. Presenting a clock is important. I'm just gonna play this as a gain 5 plus a blocker for a turn here and just continue beating down with my Dark Heart. I'm not sure what you mean, Almadim. Like, are you saying, can I block, like, a ground troop, and then... Wow, that's really good. That's really good. because that is something that Darkheart doesn't kill. I think the Arcane Focus here, because like a Transmog or a Hawkward Turn are both really good. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and Fate Weave a resource to the top of my deck here with this one, because a resource means that I get to get my Darkheart back next turn. You're the best, Rogue. Thank you. What's going on, Apprentice? So my opponent had Fate Weave there, which guarantees that they're going to have a non-resource next turn. I'm going to go ahead and floop this pig back into play, so we've got an extra blocker. And this is going to hit them to 7. And then if they draw a blank here, like if they draw a Pump Spell or something like that, they're just going to be dead to my Darkhearts attacking next turn. And like dying to just like one random threat off the top of their deck while I have like Winter's Grasp and Darkheart in play is pretty unlikely. They could draw like another Obsidian Cyclops here, which lets them, yeah, sweet. All right. We're 2 and 1 now in this gauntlet. And again, you can't change the cards you're playing during a gauntlet, but you can change what your 60 and your 15 are. So I'm actually going to cut this Clash of Steel and put a second Hawkward Turn in my main deck, I think. Let's put back in here. Is there room for hanging out? Maybe Darkheart being a 4-cost 4/4 is enough proactive to kill people in this format. Awesome, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, they came out really well. It's a tough dimension to work with because it's a really small size, but I think my graphics guy did a quite fantastic job with the crowns. I like how they all look. How to counter Darkheart? I think this card should be banned. There's lots of ways to counter Darkheart. You could literally counter it with an interrupt. You can counter it in play with a card like Ruby's Favor or Hero Fall, or lots of different options for spot removal. All right, Blue Sparrow, probably there's been a graveyard-based combo deck that Blue Sparrow has been playing. So there is a 2-card combo in Immortal that there's a troop in Immortal that when you reanimate it with Mordrum's Gift, you mill your opponent out completely. It buries like 69 cards off the top of their deck. So probably gonna need to play once they get to the 5 resource range a little bit conservatively, like thinking like they could kill me at any point. Now, I thought it was 69, right? It mills 30 and then 13. Oh, I was like, why didn't they hit me with that? They don't have blood. So they're a Tri-Shard deck, but they don't have blood yet. That makes sense. So do I want to sight here? I think I just want to sight here. Just like get my card advantage rolling a little bit. If they hit a blood threshold here, this is going to start pulling cards out of my hand, which is a little annoying. It's also worth noting they have it. It's also worth noting that, like, Dark Heart's a little bit worse in Immortal than it was in Standard because a lot of the better cards in Immortal are socketed. So, like, there's less key threats that Dark Heart can actually take off the table than when it was in Standard Legal. I'm glad I have a second Hawkward Turn in my main deck to dig for here, though. Yep. Psychic Ascension with double Prophecy on it. God, that's such a huge bag of dicks. I've been really fucking unfortunate with prophesizing the Psychic Ascensions today. Hawkward Turn, please. Hawkward Turn, please. I don't think any of these matter. Soul Severance. That's, yep. Gives opposing troops -1/-1. Each time an opposing troop dies this turn, get a Phantom. It's a really powerful card. So, worth noting, Dark Heart can't block Brilliant End Relics, because this can't be blocked except by non-prismatic cards. And this is another card that Clash of Steel can't interact with as well. Did they hit the Dark Heart that drew a card? God, they did. That's so fucking brutal. Yeah, it's possible Lanupaw Sight is just not playable. Like what we played that Lanupaw Sight out and we drew one card from it. It replaced itself. Like that is like just not good enough, right? Like the Thunderfield Seer didn't get to draw a card either because it's stuck on this fucking Psychic Ascension. Feels bad, man. Bird. Bird. That is kind of a bird, so that's gonna reanimate my bird from the bin here. That is fan-fucking-tastic. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Oh, I should just bird this now. Oh, I should have birded before I did this. This was bad sequencing on my part. Yes, that doesn't work. Put a non-resource. So I fucked up here. So I fate wove a non-resource to the top of my deck, and then this happened. So like if there's an action on top of my deck, it's not going to be the prophesized action at this point. Yeah, Banksing back Seeker does seem sweet, actually. I think I agree with that assessment. So we're going to be like snapping a trade here. Am I dead? That's their combo card. They have a Mordrum's Gift, and I'm dead. So, when this gets Mordrum's Gift back, it buries your deck out. So, this thing comes into play, and then it sacrifices itself, so... Yeah, it's milk combo. We didn't know it was milk combo, Marty? We knew it was milk combo on, like, turn 2. Pay attention, class! Alright, So these transmogs are pretty bad. The Hawkward Turn is great. I think the verdicts are good. These Lanupaw sites seem pretty rancid. Maybe the Seers are bad too. What do I want my Dark Hearts to do in this matchup? I definitely want them to be -1 cost, I think. Am I supposed to leave protection in them? I guess I don't want them getting Runebound and shit. Yeah, I guess I don't want them getting Runebound. All the mill combo decks are playing Dark Heart, Marty. They all are. Most of them are. Almost all of them. All the Esper ones are playing Dark Heart. I don't think I should trim Bird because it blocks Anarilics. Maybe this card's just not good enough. Yeah, it's possible like the Thunderfield Seer and the Lanupaw site aren't good, and I should just like have another Heart's Whisper in the deck, and like some of these cards could turn into like Eternal Seekers and stuff at the top end. It's definitely going to take a few iterations to get a control deck to a good spot in a new format, especially like a new non-rotating format that's settling down still. We don't really know like what the threat base is that we're working against strictly. I think this is a keep. We've got double focus here, which we all know is much worse than guidance, but hopefully between the two of them they can put together a diamond resource. God bless. First try Arcane Focus. I take back some of the bad things I've said about you. 90 degrees. Is it cooler in Florida than it is in the Midwest? Because we have a heat index in like the 3 digits today. I think I just want to guarantee all my shard drops here so I can go Dark Heart with Runebind up, ideally. To like Bird on 4 and draw cards, hopefully. Kinda duress. The card they take out of our hand goes into theirs. They took Countermagic. That's scary. So do they have more discard here? We could get poked by an Anarilics this turn. So like they go Diamond Anarilics, that's gonna be speedy. That's so good for us. So this discards, and they get to get a shard of their choice. So they're Tri-Shard resource base, slowing them down a little bit here, which is ideal for us. Next turn, we're going to get to go Shard, Slam the Silver Talon Adjudicator, and pick up a couple of cards here. We don't really care about our health total in this matchup, so just getting to draw cards is good. We can get comboed as early as turn 5, so we're safe to tap out next turn. See if they have a Runebind of their own here that they want to burn on this or not. I think I like that use of Runebind. It depends on like what the rest of their hand looks like, but like stopping me from drawing 2 cards here seems pretty valuable. Especially if they can like empty their hand to the point where like, or if they have a Dark Heart of their own. Brilliant, sure. Okay, I mean this means, hopefully we been one of these two. This means that like, if we, so like, do I want to play this Dark Heart here in order to take this off the table? I think so. We could get comboed next turn though, which kind of sucks. Like I lose my Bird in this exchange too, but like I'm gonna just keep losing cards out of my hand to this regardless. Like, I think I just, oh, I can't target this. God, I'm dumb. This card is really obnoxious. That one I can target because it's on the chain. At least it's not hexproof. At least it's not hexproof. I like to draw an Adjudicator here. Diamond Dice, that's a lot like an Adjudicator. No, I don't think so. I actually think this is like reasonable design, I think. I think pseudo evasion is good design because it requires people to play specific answers, so it gives decks that want to play cards like this a tool to have resilient threats, but they're not impossible to beat threats. Like there's a big difference in my mind between Spell Shield and like what this card is doing. Like it's certainly annoying and it's powerful, but like I think it's on like a kind of a different plane than like what. Oh, that's a beating. They took my Countermagic. The fact that this card gets to pressure stuff out of your opponent's hand is so very good. They have a Runebind here. They should snap it off because this will let me draw 2 cards. Yeah. So, Runebinding this not only means they can keep attacking me with this, but it means my Dark Card's going to Edict this rune next turn. And the fact that, like, all of my birds are wrapped up in runes means that, like, I can't... Psychic Ascension. I wonder, this format's probably grindy enough too that like there just shouldn't be 2 Psychic Ascensions in my main. I think I'm gonna board the second. We could die here too. They're gonna go to 1 off of this and then hit their champ power and combo us. Nope. I'm gonna offer this trade, I think. I think this trade is good for us. Yeah, Countermagic's a great draw. Yes, you can sub an app. It costs you more money, though, because they have to cover the PayPal or the Android fee. You have to cover Google's cut. Alright, don't have a negate. And we're dead. Alright, let's swap so we're 2 and 2 now. Let's cut this Ascension to the board, I think, and put I'm just gonna put this last Hawkward Turn. There's a lot of Anarelixes in this format. I think just like playing a bunch of Hawkward Turns is probably pretty good. That's why I had 3 in the 75 to begin with, because I just like wanted a clean answer to that. Alright, so you got the rematch against Novi here. I think everybody hates every combo deck. Like, if you don't enjoy playing with and against combo decks, you probably shouldn't play Immortal. Like, Immortal and formats like Immortal tend to be more combo based on average. Yeah, combo decks are sweet. Nivek, great. Nice Brick Bunny. Nice. Put the bottom 3 cards of your deck into your discard pile, eh? Such a powerful hex card you've played, opponent. Like, the deck we just played against, the opponent's deck, is actually, like, an example of what's likely going to be a good control deck in Immortal. Like, it's, the opponent's deck had sweepers in it and lots of interaction, but it's a control deck that that can put an actual clock on the table. Like, it can actually, like, it can kill people with the Anarelix and the Dark Heart, and then it can blow people out with the combo out of nowhere. I think I'm supposed to Runebind this. I put a shard on top of my deck. Oh, they could hit a shard off of this and flip this back out this turn, huh? God damn it. Or 2 and 8 for that to happen. I can't block here because it's not. going on, CVN? I lost my Transmog. I did at least hit a non-slow resource here, so I can play this and play Adjudicator to draw two gain. Looking to dodge Hero Fall here, so they can't kill this ideally. They don't have spot removal for this here. We keep the Anarilics at bay, which is ideal. Look, all I'm gonna say is this card is brilliant Anarilics on this stream. And if you think you can change that, you haven't been watching the stream long enough. It's all just gonna put that out there. I'll put a non-resource on top of my deck here. Got my Countermagic up, I got my Runebind, and we're looking to plow. Alright, what you got? What you got? Bring it, Rotpaw gang. Counter that one. Making that one more expensive is good. So that one, that cat comes back. So like making the one that comes back more expensive, that's pretty good. I would love to block. Oh, it makes a zombie. Huh. Do I want to Runebind this because it effectively gets rid of it? I think I want to Runebind something here. Nah, maybe I just want to save this to protect my bird. I think I'm just going to save this to protect my bird. Go up to 21 here. We don't get to draw cards off of this one, but that's probably fine. So I think I'm gonna block this here, am I? Oh, that's a lie. I think I'm just banksing this back as a blocker and to gain some health here. I have to hold up this Countermagic because if this floops back off next turn, I need to be able to stop it. Now that I have an extra bird here, I can afford to trade here. It's possible I should have traded for the Abomination last turn even. I'll see what we pick up next turn, but we get to like play Lanupaw Sight plus play Countermagic next turn potentially, which is nice. This is a prophesizer. I don't even know what they're trying to get with this, but whatever it is, I don't want it to happen. Do this and get my cards now. Alright. Yo dog. Heard you like cantrips, so we cantripped into some cantrips for you. Again, just need to hold up Countermagic so they can't just clear this with this. Huh. I think I'm obligated to Countermagic this. Because this is pretty likely going to get them stuff for this. we're doing okay here. Because, like, I get to play this dark card out next turn. Which is going to eat... Yeah, that's a great draw. Alright, yeah, so I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to play this dark heart. And then we get to avoid this mysterious rune here. Or Edict the Mysterious Rune, whatever you want to call it. And then this chumps here, and then I can Hawkward Turn this and take it off the table next turn. Oh, that's a beating. So this card draws them card equal to the highest power among troops they control and gains them health equal to the highest defense. We do have a draw 3 in the bank ourselves here, so like we do have kind of a chance. It makes the Hawkward Turn a little bit worse though. We might see them attack with both of these this turn and like force a trade plus a chump. Yeah, this card just got a lot. How do they have room? They must not be a Crusader deck, right? There's like no way they're a Crusader deck. Oh, this is the first time we've ascended today, chat. It's the first time we've ascended, and it is fucking glorious. Welcome to Greed. Welcome to Greed Town. Alrighty. That's an Azawa's Wish. Does that have targets? What does that get back? There's gotta be fucking candy in here. Oh, yeah. Thunderfield Seer. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Here, this is quick, right? Both these are quick. Alright. So... in addition, so this is our finisher. If you haven't seen Psychic Ascension before, you're in for a real fucking treat. So every time we play an action, we generate a random troop with that action's cost. So let's get to work here, chat. Let's get to work. So both of these are going to make troops when we play them in addition to having their effect. Put a non-resource on top of my deck. Gargolith could have been bad for us there. You're not wrong. Maybe I should have played around that. I'm at 9, which should mean that we're ready to stabilize. Alright, let's Ozawa's Wish this back into play, baby. Oh, yeah! Got me some Swift Strike! Alrighty. Alrighty, let's do it. Let's do it. Get the Swift Strike, take 2. We know there's a non-resource on top of our deck, and if it's an action, it draws a card. We're going to have to generate another action with our champion next turn. And Dark Heart's a little medium. Sabotage. Create 4 booby traps and put them into their deck. Yep. Alright, booby trap you, baby. I'm going to play this out just in case they find a way to get through with this next turn. I don't want to have to discard my cards. This puts all my cards face up on the table, but I would like to not risk discarding a card here. This has been a sweet game. Oh, geez. What the fuck does this card do? Whenever another card enters your hand or play from crypt, destroy target opposing cards. They got Rancor back. All right, we have a game still. We really want to draw an action next turn. So this lets the Brilliant Anerelics hit me here. This lets both of them hit me. So I'm going to 1 here. Am I dead? No, I'm not quite dead, but we're really fucking close. So this, and this are all unblockable. Yeah, the fact that we didn't draw the Prophecy from the Thunderfield Seer right away could put us far enough by. We're gonna need a really good generation here. Have to sacrifice a thing because of this. That's another shard. Sunlit Sentence. Ancestral Ambush. I think we're dead, chat. I believe we're dead. I believe that's all she wrote. Fuck, we were so close. We were so close. Oh, we were so close. Yeah, we needed to have an okay generation off of this, and we needed to hit the action that drew a card, basically, to like maybe be in the game. If we'd have hit an action that drew a card last turn, if we'd we'd hit like Heart's Whisper, we could have just like probably gone off insane. Just gonna do this real quick just to make sure we don't have anything too insane happen. Oh baby! Oh baby! So you're saying there's a chance? So you're saying there's a chance? That's all I need. All I need is a chance. All I need is a chance. All I need is a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Prophesized card. Yeah. How is the resource system different in this game? So the big difference is that you don't activate individual cards in this individual resource in this game for specific resources. You just have a total resource pool, and then you play things out from that resource pool. There we go. How to hex. There it is. All right. I need to find a way to interact with these other fucks over here. That's double prophesize. I think we're dead. I think we're dead. I keep saying I think we're dead, and then we keep getting out of it, but I think we're actually dead this time. Non-slow shard. Ayo. Ayo! Ayo! Alright, well, are we dead to this? I think we're dead to this, right? I don't think Hawkward does it. I think we're still too far, because these both fly here too. Yeah, like I said, I think we needed to hit that extra thing the turn prior. Like, we just didn't have enough resources this turn to really get everything going. He attacks with everything this time. He's learned his lesson. So close, and yet so far away. Yeah, it was a good game of Hex, at least. I think, honestly, the way the current... And this is, like I said, building control decks in a format like this takes time because the correct answers are going to be very format contextual. I think the way this current format is shaping up, you're supposed to have 4 of this card in your 75, just because of how popular the Brilliant is. I think there's a very good chance that I'm just supposed to have 4 of these possibly in the main deck. Which is interesting, because like Bob and Burgle have played a bunch of Standard. They said this card's really pretty mediocre in Standard, but honestly, it might just be that this card's like a little bit better than Transmog even, just because it's consistent. It also hits like, any permanent type. So the fact that it like cleans up constants and stuff like that is great too. Yeah, Annie's just a very good card, right? So like, again, control decks are about having the right mix of answers for the threat. So like, just maxing out on the best answer for the best threat seems very reasonable. Sounds decent. Play this on 1 here, and then Guidance for a shard, so we can hit 3 on 3. I don't know what roguelike means. I've heard of the game Slay the Spire. I think I saw Marty stream it, but I don't know what it is exactly. I was watching you play it, Marty. It's like a PvE game, basically, right? It means when I'm a fan of something. Okay. Oh, that's fucking annoying. I guess, and again, like, Hawkward Turn's a great card. I'm gonna play this Lanupaw set out here. Hawkward Turn's gonna take this off the table, right? So, like, before I start drawing cards next turn, I'm gonna get to just Hawkward this. Although I guess I'm risking getting an Relics this turn and losing my Hawkward Turn. There should just 10 out of 10 be 4 of this card in my deck. And it's not particularly close. I'm also, like, risking, like, Withering Gaze here, I suppose. Have a bird. RPG based on the idea of a playthrough, different time, lots of random variables. So it is a single player game then, right? Permanent death and no that sounds really. I want my games to be fun, not to make me sad that I suck. So like if I'm gonna play a single player game, I want it to be a pick me up. I don't want to play a single player game and be sad that I suck. I want my single player games to be like, you're so good at games, Jeffrey. Just like pat me on the fucking back while I play it. That's what I want. That's what I want for single player games. I want them to just let me feel smart. Ink or dead, chat. So, I want more ways to kill my opponent. Honestly, I think I just want four Hawkwards and like 2 Glories in my main deck. Because like Glory's still just like a 5/5 when you're beating people down. Probably a couple of Eternal Seekers too. Glory's also good because it's like another card to get back with Rutherford Banks. Looking like we're pretty dead here. I probably want a couple of Sunlit Sentences in my 75 too. Clash of Steel seems really fucking bad in this format. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and concede here. I think we're pretty dead. I think I have some ideas on how I'd like to rebuild this though. A couple of packs and an Immortal ticket. So I'm pretty sure this Clash and these Lanupaws and Thunderfield Seers are just like big bags of poop. And I'm pretty sure I want the extra Psychic Ascension on my board. Like, I want an Ascension, Run, Back, Bant, Super Friends. We haven't actually played Super Friends yet, but we're going to get there. Thank you for the bits. It's towards the top of the... I've not done a Turbo PA Gauntlet yet. I might do that next, actually. I might do a Turbo PA Gauntlet. It's 2 o'clock. Christy will be home. I guess I have a little bit before she gets home, huh? I think I just want 4 of this fucking card. Like, this card is, like, actually great. I want a couple of Glories. I think I want 1 Seeker. I think I want at least a Sunlit in the main. I think I want 2 Sunlits in my 75. Oh, I have 4 AAs already? That's so great. Oh, right, I won the door prizes. I forgot I won door prizes. So I think this is what I do. I don't know that the format's grindy enough to warrant having a Charged Colossus in my deck. I don't know if that's the case. I think this is the main deck I would play next time. I think this Clash is probably just nonsense. I definitely want another Psychic Ascension in my board. I think I'm gonna get rid of this Clash. I think that card's... Do I want to Annihilate? Is it Annihilate better than the second... How do you spell that card? I don't know how to spell Annihilate. There we go. There's an H there. It's not an A, it's an H. Annihilate. Is Annihilate better than the second Sunlit Sentence? Just like make your opponent play around a bunch of shit? There is not an in-game overlay for this Slay, which is sad. Which is very sad. Nah, I don't think you want Scour the Archives. I think Immortal is a format where you're just, like, paying 2 mana to cantrip in your control deck means you're just gonna fucking die. And, like, this isn't a deck that has, like, the loot champion in it, so you can't just, like, loot away the first one. So, like, the first one is, like, 2 mana draw a card, and the second one is, like, eventually good. So I don't think that's good enough. There's a website called hex.tcgbrowser.com where you can type hex cards into and look up the text on them. It is unfortunately fairly inconvenient, though. I think this is what I think. I like 4 Hawkward Turns. Honestly, I could even see like Winter's Grasp being better than the last Transmogrifade, but I'm a big pack of 1. I don't know. I feel like I've gone up on Anarelic Answers enough here. Like I've got 4 Hawkward Turns. I added a Sunlit. I added Glories. I added Eternal Seeker. So like these are all like generically reasonable cards that just like also kill that card. I think I'm gonna put another Magistrate in here just like it's really good against the shitty combo decks. Because who doesn't love shitty combo decks? There's probably plenty of those. I'll just throw like another Grasp in here because I think Grasp is pretty well positioned as well. It's like I've got a lot of angles covered. These are aggressive. These are like anti-combo. Yeah, I think that seems better than what we just did. And like I kind of had Anarelics on the brain when I put the deck together initially. Maybe 4 Hawkward Turn in the main deck is too many, especially with like Glories and stuff like that. But again, like this tag's problem permanence too, which seems pretty valuable. And the Fate Weave is also great, just like helping you hit your thresholds is nice. Maybe it's possible like this Sunless Sentence is silly in my main deck. Is it nuts to like main deck a Verdict? Could I do that? Could I do that? Maybe I'll do that. There's probably enough combo decks in the format, and this hits something in most things. Yeah, that too, right? Like Hawkward Turn is better with the Glories and the Seeker as well. I almost put a Seeker in here and then I didn't for the first run through, but the fact that we're on Rutherford Banks definitely makes it a lot better. All right, I'm gonna call that good enough. You received a tournament prize. Thank you very much. All right, what are we?